Hello comic fans, here's Al Gray. As you see, I'm about to prepare an overview of all my Richard Corben books. Some kind of video that I did a while before for my English channel. But now I want to do this for my German channel, Örls Waschmaschine, as well. And by the way, the poster that you've seen, this huge poster here, was a gift from Raymond Martin, the legendary publisher, German publisher, who brought Richard Corben comics to Germany in sometimes really beautiful editions in his Volksverlag. And we had the luck of and the fantastic experience of doing an interview with him on Örls Waschmaschine. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I hope the translator works for you, because obviously this interview was in German. But now what I want to do for this channel here, for the English channel, is something that I promised Terence, aka Comickkrakk, who did this kind of video already, so I'm repeating a bit what he did in showing and showcasing Den 2 by Richard Corben. Since the first edition, as you may remember, even though it's a beautiful book, mind you, haven't satisfied me completely, because as it is with Richard Corben's art, sometimes the colors are too intense, sometimes they're not intense enough, sometimes it's a bit blurry, sometimes it's a bit this and that, but he convinced me to continue with this book here. So I just wanted to add my 10 cents here, and otherwise go check Terence's Comickkrak's video out. He started in comparing especially this page here, which shows an incredibly amount of detail in the background here, or in these clouds here. And he compared it with earlier editions, like the one in heavy metal. I don't have the particular heavy metal issue at hand, but I have the German heavy metal put out by, yes, Raymond Martin, who we interviewed. And this is the reproduction of that, and you can see here what Terence put out, that all the details of the clouds are really coming strong in the new edition, and even the sky above the clouds is much more intense. And this is a really good sign, because usually these old Volksverlag editions here, they really have good reproduction qualities, even though this here is a really printing error. It looks a bit like 3D, involuntarily 3D effect. It's done in the production. But anyways, so this is the old heavy metal, Schwermetall version. But I have more versions of this comic here, because the best versions of Richard Corben comics so far that were available over here in Germany were the old Carlsen Verlags, aka Comic Art editions of Richard Corben, and this was quite a long series of them, always putting them out in these softcover albums with glued binding, which is the biggest problem of these. I mean, this one here has survived the years. I mean, you always have to make sure that your cover folds this way and not further to the edge, and then you will lose your first pages, and then it's pretty much all over. The end all over. So, and these Dan books by the Volksverlag are just amazing in terms of the introductions, bonus matter. Here we have a card, a map of Movovum, and yeah, here the first page, which comes a bit closer to the new version. So, I think, yeah, but look at the mountains. They have this really psychedelic violet and so on. And for me, just looking at the first page is pretty much case closed. Okay, I really have to get Dan 2 and the new version here by Dark Horse, recolored, or, yeah, no, not recolored, that's the wrong term. Remastered coloring by José Villarrubia. And here you have this amazing picture that you've seen before as an inside cover. By the way, you may decide as I to get rid of these covers here and to put the books in this fashion onto your shelf. An amazing cover, and maybe let's flip through some other pages here and do some comparison later on. And this is some page that Terence put out for the right reasons, because in other books it is, and in mine as well, it's not nearly as psychedelic. You can see here Dan wandering off into this psychedelic foamy background there, and the effect is totally lost in the other versions. Same with these LSD dreams right there. So let's skip to some page. One gripe that I had with Dan 1 was that the reproductions maybe in parts were color-wise correct, but looked a bit blurry, not sharp, as they were in my Dan book here from comickkrakk/Carlsen. You really have to love these strange imaginations of Corben. I'm looking for a page here with not so much boobs in it. This would be okay, no? Gives you stuff to give you nightmares, but algorithm-wise, it's perfectly fine. Well, yeah, let's look at these faces here, just for comparison purposes. So, well, above you have the new remastered version by Villarrubia, and below the old Carlsen book. That is, I say it again, or has been since now, my gold standard in terms of Corben's reproduction. And so it's pretty sure to say that this stuff here matches, or looks just better because you have more colors here. Here it's more or less just a green monster face, while you have here these slight pinks and yellows and all that, and even this face here looks much more interesting with more blue in it. And the longer you look, the more differences you can make out. So exactly the same with this double page spread here in my German version. And here you have the new version. yeah, it's the longer you look, the more you see that this thing here looks brighter and clearer, and the light effects are just a bit stronger. I mean, no harm done if you're just having some kind of reproduction like this here. But yeah, Corben is not just your average comic guy. He is one of the strongest American cartoonists ever, and one wants the best version of his comics. And this this book here really comes very close to what I have in my mind when I'm thinking of how could the best reproduction of Corben's comics look like. So yeah, really satisfied with this book as far as I've looked into it. But now I want to do my overview here, and maybe we see us on Örls Waschmaschine, or you watch my older overview about Corben's comics here on Earl Grey as panellogy, whatever. Thanks for listening and watching, and goodbye.